How you guys doing here? Welcome into Rover Sports. This is the Saturday edition of the live stream, and we're here today. And I'm gonna put this up on a little selfie stick. Dad, you want to lower the TV? I mean, you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join and talk Sixers. Sixers Warriors, but apparently you don't want to talk, so it's no problem.
Thanks for warning. You started to. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to talk, then that's fine.
I wasn't aware that there was a specific starting.
I mean, you could.
So you just started.
Whenever you want to hop in the live stream, you're absolutely welcome to. So I wanted to go ahead right now, and I wanted to talk about the games tomorrow. I went to a Sixers game tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. The Sixers ended up losing to Golden State. It was an exciting game. Rob Covington had a really nice first quarter of the game. He had 5 threes. The Sixers look like a really nice up-and-coming team. However, with Ben Simmons right now, with Ben Simmons playing point guard with this team, I think that they're going to be a force for years to come. Now, they didn't play the defense that they needed to. TLC didn't do well. Brett Brown defensively put in some really porous lineups in the third quarter, and they couldn't sustain anything. And Golden State with Steph Curry, with Klay Thompson, with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can go off at any time and make big-time plays and make big-time shots. I encourage a lot of you guys are new subscribers to Rover Sports. What I encourage you guys to do at some point during your night tonight, even now during this live stream if you wanted to, is you guys should go check out Jet Central, because he's out there right now with UCF Jaguar, and they're recording a live stream of UCLA and USC. And those guys are doing a terrific job. I stopped by their live stream tonight. They were fantastic. And what those guys are doing is they're doing a live stream of the game, and they also recorded their NFL midseason awards. And amazingly, Jet Central had Jameis Winston as his midseason award Offensive Player of the Year. Before the year started, he thought Jameis Winston would be legit, and UCF Jaguar thought that Derek Carr would be legit. But hey, Bruce, do you want to turn on the UCLA game, or do you want to watch this?
We can watch the UCLA game.
Yeah, and listen, I want to talk Sixers with you. I want you to be included in this show. So if you don't want to talk, then that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to come on this live stream, it's fine, because Bruce is right here. He's my producer, and he is right here. Thomas Russo, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for coming into the live stream. You're one of the guys that bounced over from Jet Central, and I'm not trying to hijack those guys whatsoever. I'm just trying to hang out with y'all, utilizing this new camera that I got. I'm not going to say I'm obsessed, because obsessed is a terrible word, but I am very drawn to the new technology here, and I'm really excited for tomorrow's NFL football games. And I'm here right now as we see Josh Rosen, and that looked like a frozen rope there as that guy just dropped a pass. So it's sad, guys. I don't have the Wyoming game. I'd love to have Wyoming on versus Colorado State. In fact, they might have played already, and I'm trying to figure out if Josh Allen, in fact, played in that game. But, Tom Russo, welcome in the Rover Sports, man. I hope you have a great stay with us. I hope we can take care of you during your trials and tribulations with the Rover Sports. 1 second, I have to go up for a second, but you guys are funneling in right now to the live stream. We're going to get to NFL picks. We're going to have a lot of fun. Buckle up those seatbelts, and let's roll. I didn't want to offend you. I didn't want to offend you, man. Okay. Look at that. You guys were good soldiers. You guys hung in there as I had to depart. Got my phone right now, and we are ready to tee this thing up. Like and share this live stream, guys. Also, a good friend of mine, Uncle Lou, he does these live streams too, and they're absolutely incredible. So I'm going to give you my scores for tomorrow's game, as I've recapped the Sixers game already. It was Golden State pretty much having elite level personnel, as Josh is trying to hit some back shoulder throws against a very stingy USC defense. First game that we got on tap for tomorrow is Jags-Browns at Paul Brown Stadium. I think that this is a trap game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if DeShone Kizer is playing. If DeShone Kizer is playing, though, then I actually think that the Browns have a fighting chance. I don't see Blake Bortles putting up big numbers. I saw the weather today in Michigan. It looked horrible throughout the Midwest. So I really look at the Cleveland Browns, and I think that they actually have a chance tomorrow to beat the Jags. Do I have the guts to pick Cleveland to get their first win of the year? I do. Cleveland 23, Jacksonville 17. Upset special. Sorry, UCF Jaguar. Jags going down. Bucks and Dolphins. One of the most hideous games that we have seen all year long. Just a crapshoot with Ryan Fitzpatrick and that quarterback in Miami, Jay Cutler. Horrible offenses, horribly constructed teams, terrible teams. I think Miami's going to win it just because they're the home team. Let's go 17-13. And if you guys are living in Miami or Tampa Bay, I urge you to leave your homes so that you do not have to watch that game on your television. What I would rather be doing than watching that game is I'd rather be trying to read a biology book than watching that football game. One of the worst games that they could put on a slate, and I sincerely feel for those in that part of the country. Ravens, Green Bay Packers. Brett Hundley was okay. There's a reason he's a backup quarterback in the NFL and he's behind Aaron Rodgers. It's because he has no arm talent whatsoever. Now, Hundley was able to roll outside the pocket and make plays. The Green Bay defense is going to play great in this game. I don't see Joe Flacco going to Lambeau Field and having any sort of success whatsoever. Clay Matthews is going to get inside on him. That secondary of Burnett and Clinton Dix, they're going to hold strong. Green Bay will stop the running game of Alex Collins and the Ravens. Green Bay will find a way to win this one 21-10. Green Bay rocks Baltimore and wins again at Lambeau. They have some momentum after beating the Chicago Bears. So these are just some of the picks that I want to be making for tomorrow's game as we roll down the slate here. Because for college football today, I mean, we had, Tennessee losing, we had Arkansas losing, the SEC pretty much all chalk today, except for maybe Kansas State. So, I mean, Bruce, you're welcome to come in the live stream if you. Why don't you want to come in the live stream? I mean,
Are you talking college football? What are you talking?
I'm talking Sixers now.
You don't have to. We can
No,
do an NFL preview.
NFL and Sixers.
How we doing tonight? Thanks for coming in. I just had to deal with 14-year-old girls and just try to come down from that experience. So
And a guy
so
who acts like a 5-year-old girl and me.
Not exactly. So, where were we talking? You attended the Sixers game tonight. You already gave a little recap. I know that today, obviously earlier today, we had some interesting games. Most of them ended up rather chalky. But talking about NFC, obviously a big game tomorrow night is Eagles-Cowboys. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, first off, the way I kind of look at that game is I think that Dak Prescott has to play great tomorrow night. I think the Eagles are going to shut down the running game. I think they're going to get after Prescott. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think that defensive line's going to play great on the Dallas Cowboys. And hey, thanks so much, Philly 500. We got to get you on the show. That's a really good guy. Philly 500 and Falcons Fury. They're both going to be appearing on my Rover Sports. Someday, guys, I want to be able to get your numbers and emails, but to have them on the show, to have them on the Zoom. Sports. So yeah, so yeah, of course, Philly 500 is tremendous. So listen, let's talk about the game then tomorrow night as the comments roll in. I think that Carson Wentz is going to be attacked by both sides of this defensive line. You know, I think Irving and Lawrence are going to be tough to block. So I think that the first half, I could see the Eagles winning that half like 10 to maybe like 17 to about 10. I think I see the Eagles winning the first half. How do you see the Eagles succeeding on offense against the Cowboys?
Well, I think that they'll be running a lot of Corey Clement, who is going to be one of their feature backs. I see Blunt and Ajayi, basically splitting there's no fullback, but as far as the power back, they're going to be splitting time. So Blunt's going to have less carries. Ertz is back, so I think that's a big plus. Ertz is having a great year. He's our number one receiver. Some word out of Eagles land is that Alshon Jeffrey is a little bit nicked up from practice. I don't know if you heard that, Spence. So that's going to be a detriment for them.
Alshon Jeffrey might be hurt tomorrow.
He's going to play, but he's a little nicked up from practice injury. We'll give you those details when we find them.
I actually don't think that'll be the biggest deal now. I see Nelson Aguilar having about a 35-yard touchdown down the middle of that defense because Jeff Heath is very susceptible. Jordan Lewis, they have Chidobe Awuzie. They have a really young secondary. So I expect some big boy throws, especially in the second and third quarter from Carson Wentz. I think he's going to hit some big plays.
Like you said, if he has time, I think he'll be able to do that. But you look at it, Vitae and left tackle, I think he's a vulnerable area, and I think they're going to be attacking him.
I do too. And I think, though, that the Eagles are going to shut down Dallas's running game completely. I think that for Dallas to be successful, Cole Beasley has to have a huge game on who's the nickel corner of the Eagles. Would that be Jalen Watkins or?
Well, I think Jalen Watkins will be playing. I believe, though, that Darby will be back. He's actually going to be back from injury.
He's going to be playing in this game.
Yeah, Darby's going to be playing. So you'll see Robinson at slot. That's his natural spot. And you'll see Jalen Mills as the other receiver. That is really ballsy
to put Darby right back on the outside against Terrence Williams. That's going to be a great matchup because I think that I probably put – it's interesting. You don't want the lanky Robinson on Dez Bryant. Who would you want to see on Dez? I think maybe Jalen Mills.
Robinson's playing slot.
So Jalen Mills.
But also, there's one other person we're forgetting. Comments?
They said it's going to be a Witten and Beasley game. Our guys at the Sports Fury tuning in right now to our live stream.
Appreciate them showing up. And Witten, obviously, he hasn't really had too many big games. He's not getting any younger. Beasley,
he does have big games. He's an Eagles killer.
I think Beasley has a chip on his shoulder. And
Cole Beasley, he was born with a chip actually inbraided into his shoulder.
So I think Beasley...
Those short white wide receivers like him.
I think this
is
really a must-win game for the Cowboys. And not a must-win game for the Eagles, really.
I see the Eagles honestly exploding in the second half, though. I see Carson Wentz having a light show of a game. I see Mac Hollins getting a touchdown. Carson Wentz, 3 or 4 touchdowns. Do you see him throwing through the air tomorrow? I really could see the Eagles scoring 35 points and the game in the second half kind of being a shootout and the Eagles winning the game like 35-24. I really can see that happening against this Dallas secondary that's so susceptible.
I don't really envision that. I believe Dallas is going to come out desperate. They're going to come out angry. And Zeke's obviously suspended. I think they're going to play angry. And I also know it's a national game at Dallas Stadium, at AT&T Stadium, and a must-win game with a very rabid crowd. So
there's only one way.
I believe it'll be a close game.
Only one way that the Vol Roadshow wants my Tennessee shirt back, but I rock a lot of different college gear. I think that there's one way that the Cowboys win, and that's they need to really put Carson Wentz to the ground a lot in the game. They need to get their hands on Carson. If they don't, then it's over. Oh my God, that guy was wide open. But what do you think? That's the only way that the Cowboys win the game, Bruce. Because I don't see the Cowboys over under 50 rushing yards for the Dallas Cowboys. Is Rod Smith going to have to run the football? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Is Rod Smith going to have to run it for the Dallas Cowboys to be successful?
I don't think he will. I agree that Dallas isn't going to do much. Des Bryant, Beasley, Witten, those guys could have big games. I agree with that.
Des could have a big game, but I think it's going to come down to Cole Beasley, to guys like Terrence Williams. Falcons Furies commenting on the Sixers game, how they gave up a big lead to Golden State tonight. Bruce, we look at the Sixers team, and it is such a young team. But you look at Ben Simmons, and I mean, I think it's a heck of a ball club for the future, though. I think this team's.
I guess one question we have here in Philly is Brett Brown the coach to take the Sixers to the promised land? I noticed in his post-game press conference, he was blaming fatigue. He was blaming, well, these guys are 22 years old, okay? And I think that he's deflecting blame from himself. What happened in the third quarter? It was a complete meltdown. Was it a personnel thing? Would you have had different personnel on the floor?
I mean, it's just Ben Simmons. I would have had him slow down the game. When you're up by that much, you have to kind of milk the lead. You can't play recklessly. So
a lot of turnovers. And I saw J.J. Redick.
A lot of quick shots. And when you have quick shots and misses, that leads to Durant runouts. It leads to Steph Curry runouts. And Steph was going off screens, and you got to chase him around. They didn't put McConnell on Steph. That's the only way really to slow him down.
So I think the problem is we're talking about Timothé Luwawu Cabarro, and then you're in the same sentence. You're talking about Kevin Durant, and you're talking about Steph Curry. So
exactly.
When you have his Sixers were totally outclassed today.
They were.
I think.
I mean,
the Warriors.
They scored 47 points in the first.
The point is, I saw Steph's post-game interview. They were sleepwalking in the first quarter. They just didn't play, but like a light switch, they could turn it on.
That's what's so special about special teams and special players. You're a Clippers fan there, Falcons Fury. Yeah, being a Clipper fan,
it's tough. The Clippers have taken a step back. It is tough because they've really. I think the Clippers only have 5 returning players from last year. Obviously, they lost Chris Paul, and that's a big loss for them. Mm-hmm. And I think Blake has been playing great. At least the game we saw against the Sixers.
Blake's been playing.
Blake's averaging.
Well.
But they need more. There's something missing for that team. There is Jamal. Is it Crawford?
I don't know if he's still on that team.
No, he's not. He's
like
a big loss.
Chris Paul.
But I believe that Crawford was a big loss.
J.J. Redick.
Our Clippers fan, do you agree that the loss of those two guys, that's a big loss for a team?
Yeah.
They don't seem like they have flow. They're out of sync.
I think it was a good learning experience for the Sixers. Some of you guys are commenting right now that tonight was a good learning experience. I think so too. I mean, this is still a very young team. They're going to beat up on the Eastern Conference, and I believe that the Sixers will be postseason bound this year. Yep. I think that they can win. They should win a first-round series. That's what I really want to see the 76ers do.
There's also an announcement, newsflash. There will be for Markelle Fultz, the Sixers will be making an announcement about his status.
Really?
The word that's leaking out is that he's getting better. He's practicing with the team, and you can expect him back. This is a first-round draft pick.
As USC scores a touchdown. So, Bruce, I also want to go into some NFL games that you guys might be interested in.
And let's chime in.
You guys got to fire some questions, too. How good do you think that Embiid and Simmons can be?
I think they have a tremendous. They have a limitless ceiling.
Yeah, go ahead.
The biggest. So that's a good question. Certainly, Embiid, by his own admission, is still not in shape. He's also gained about 15 pounds, but so you'll see him very spotty. Last game, 46 points against the Lakers, and today, again statistically, 21 points. But these guys have to learn to play with each other. And Darius Saric, I don't believe is being managed properly. He's a talent. I didn't hear his name mentioned. Was he out of sync today?
He was okay. He made some shots in the first half, but I think Ben Simmons is as close to a lock, as close to a generational superstar as as pretty much anybody
Simmons
can be.
let's talk about him.
Yeah.
He's very mature. He's very articulate, intelligent. He's 6'10". When's the last time you saw a 6'10" point guard? He floats. He's smooth.
He is.
And he's
but
a
also
great
his
passer.
face is stoic. He's like a statue. Like if Ben Simmons went on a date with
He wouldn't pull a Josh Rosen where he'd be banging himself in the head
Ben Simmons
after
went
an
out,
incomplete
if
pass.
Ben Simmons went on a date with Ali LaForce or like Scarlett Johansson
I think he'd have a
or
poker face.
Susan Boyle,
He wouldn't.
he wouldn't care.
He
Like
wouldn't-
there's no difference.
I think
if
he
he
would
went
care.
out with a complete
Susan
hog.
Boyle and Ali LaForce.
No, but the thing
Let's
is,
get some comments. I think there's a big difference.
No, but the thing is,
So we have the cat right here.
and we
were just ready to raise the
it,
cat,
but you couldn't
we
raise
can't
it.
raise
You
the
can't
cat.
raise it. Show the
Just
cat. Show
here's
the cat. Oh, God damn it! It's like trying
Can't
to
even
catch
hold
a
the
bull.
cat.
It's like trying to catch
It's
a
like
bull.
carrying a
It's
greased
like
pig.
bull riding. It's like bull riding. Falcons Seahawks here. Rapid fire time. Falcons Fury ass. You think the Falcons beat the Seahawks? The problem is it's in Seattle. Matt Ryan. I don't have confidence in Matt Ryan. And Steve Sarkisian. He knows all the bars in Washington. He's going to be drunk off his ass this weekend because he's going back to his alma mater in Washington. They better keep him away from the bars in Washington this weekend. Steve Sark could be getting
Camp Chancellor injured. So right now you're looking at the Seahawks.
Yep.
Without Richard Sherman,
Earl
without Camp
Thomas
Chancellor.
is like chronically hurt.
So the three best guys on defense.
How did Camelot get hurt?
I don't have the details. I just saw it
During a practice?
practice.
Practice? You talking
About
about
talking about
practice?
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 No, this is not Alvin Iverson. Let's get back to football.
Gotta let that roll out. That was very abrupt. There's going to be a game played in Mexico City, and we got to make
Will
sure
it be a
that Rob
bullfight?
Gronkowski...
Will it be a bullfight?
A cockfight.
A cockfight. I tell you,
A good
old-fashioned cockfight.
Is Quinn going to be employed next year? Heck yeah, Vol Roadshow. You know, I think that Quinny is still a tremendous coach, Dan Quinn. I think he's a beast. He's from my hometown in New Jersey. He is an unbelievable coach. So smooth, great character guy. I think Quinny is a top 5 coach in the NFL, leading that team within just seconds of the Super Bowl.
When we had a little bit of a lottery as to coaches be fired, he didn't come up. Quinn is not going to be fired.
Talking playoffs. Patriots, Raiders. So I think that the Raiders are going to be doing a lot of Molly in Mexico City.
Is it Mexico City?
In the ruins of Mexico City. They're playing on dirt. No, I'm kidding.
Well, here's the thing.
They'll probably have artificial
We know Oakland
grass.
is a very bad away team. You can't be any further away than Mexico. And you're playing against the Patriots.
Not that far.
That's true. But it's
on,
not
get your
geographically
right.
geographically far. But as far as they're going to spend, the Oakland Raiders are going to spend most of their time in a little tent outside of Tijuana with Lucy. And guess what she's going to be doing? She'd take his $5
Here
away.
comes Lucy. She give me some. Yeah.
Yes. Continuing on. FCC just bleeped you out on that one.
Who's going to be coaching? Who's the best coaching candidate for the Chicago Bears? I look at a guy. Who would you say? Is there anyone who comes to mind?
Josh McDaniel. I think the Bears would take a guy like that.
Someone who worked with Mitchell Trubisky. I think actually LaFleur is a guy who's from Michigan, the Rams offensive coordinator. So, if I'm breaking down the coaching candidates, Josh wants Jim Bob Cooter. Now
He's got the best name, though.
That's an interesting...
Anybody named Jim Bob has got to be good.
Anytime you got Cooter in your name, you're doing
Anytime
something
you're
right.
Cooters is a beautiful thing.
Cooters.
Tell me about Cooter. Is he a...
He's good. He's an innovative offensive coach. He's kind of a dull personality.
Is he an offensive coordinator?
He's duller than a doornail.
He's an old coordinator?
Duller than a doornail.
Where is he now?
He's Detroit Lions, so
he's locked in Detroit.
He's locked in Detroit with Jim Caldwell in the equipment closet.
He's trying to escape the room. Jim Caldwell.
Caldwell
guy,
style.
Caldwell's another guy who can just cruise.
And they'll get
that guy
booed.
can just cruise, and he will probably last there another 10 years.
Jim Caldwell.
He's from the Jeff Fisher School. I believe he has pictures of the owner, which he's using.
Jim Caldwell wakes up in a hospital bed before practice.
When I see Jim Caldwell, I think he's better than Ambient. He puts me to sleep.
I think Ambien would wake his ass up.
I think it would.
His
Paradoxically.
face, you know what Jim Caldwell's face it's like? It's like he's been in below 20 degrees in
Jim
the
Caldwell,
middle of Alaska
I think
winter.
he should be a block of granite, and he should certainly, the amount of emotion that he shows, could be approximated by 0.
It's like Ben Simmons. So basically, Jim Bob Cooter, by the way, is a guy that I don't like for
Jim
Chicago.
Cole is overrated.
Because
We agree with that.
Jim Bob Cooter,
Agreed.
he doesn't run the football. I want a guy that's a big balls coach that takes chances. I think Jim Harbaugh would be a great hire for you guys. Also, Urban Meyer, if Urban Meyer ever left, I think he'd be a good hire. Who
I don't see Urban Meyer. We know what happened to Urban Meyer.
State?
Urban Meyer burnt out when he was in Florida. And I think when you're in the NFL, you're under a very bright light, a lot of pressure. Now, again, the only thing you don't have to worry about is recruiting. I don't see Urban Meyer leaving Ohio State.
So let's
anytime
think.
soon.
I mean, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of great NFL coaches.
Who's in waiting? Chip Kelly. We've
the
seen his
Harbaugh brothers, Kelly.
John Harbaugh, by the way, is going to be. I think it's time. John Harbaugh he's a great coach. I believe that his time with the Ravens is ending. So for all of these vacancies, I would certainly look at him.
I think Harbaugh you have to look at too. I mean, I know Larry Fedora was the coach of Mitchell Trubisky. I think that.
That's a good question. Just rapid fire.
What?
College coaches are going to be elevated to the NFL. David Shaw, yes or no?
David Shaw. Do you think? I don't think Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. I mean, I don't think Bob Stoops either.
No, Stoops. The name Stoops. No, nothing wrong with the name, but that's a college coach. I can't see him coming to the NFL.
How about Bo Pelini?
A very funny guy.
Craig Bull. Craig Bull coached Carson Wentz. He also coaches Josh Allen at Wyoming. That wouldn't be a terrible hire.
Yep, but he's probably going to be an offensive coordinator. He's not going to jump to be a head coach.
CJ Beathard is the GOAT. Thank you so much for Butch Jones to the Bears. CJ Beathard is
Butch
the GOAT.
Jones.
People love my
Butch
CJ
Jones.
Beathard videos, man.
I'm glad they do.
What about Butch Jones?
I'm saying, I don't
Jones.
know. Will he get another job? Butch Jones?
Maybe as a band member.
No, seriously.
Maybe as a PE
Is he going to go to a small losing school?
Yeah, like Cincinnati. Hey, what about Jim Moore Jr.? He's going to get his ass canned here. You might just latch on to the NFL. But for the Chicago Bears, let's get back to that. You need a coach that runs it with Jordan Howard, that plays play action, that plays good defense. A coach that is really doing pretty well is Wade.
Thanks a lot.
Is Wade Phillips.
Mad props with the Beathard videos. Nice, thank you.
Beathard.
Thanks for the
CJ
props.
Beathard's made my entire broadcasting career. Without CJ Beathard's existence, I would never be here right now. So
no, you've done some Blake.
All
Bortles.
my money should go to CJ.
You've done some good Blake Bortles work too.
Yeah, but no, unfortunately, not a lot of people care about that.
It's kind of an oxymoron, though. Good work from Blake.
Sean's beard has transferred over from those losers at Jet Central and UCF Jaguar. I kid. Those guys are great. They're doing a simultaneous live.
Of course they are.
Well.
They're on a simultaneous live stream.
Philly 500 wants us to keep Ben McAdoo, man.
Yeah.
If Ben McAdoo stays another year, I'm boycotting the New York
Could
Giants.
you imagine Ben McAdoo? Imagine the Giants fans. Are they going to show up? There was a time, I'm going back 15 years,
I would
where
start
the New Orleans
burning
Saints,
alcohol.
By the way, New Orleans Saints were so bad, the fans would show up with paper bags over their heads with eyes cut out, and they called them the Aints. So the question is, I believe the Giants fans would resort to similar tactics if they brought Ben McAdoo.
Ball game.
Would you say
ball game? Rosen in the air,
and it's a flag is thrown. A flag. The flags are flying.
They shut down the stream. Only those guys can do that. Only those guys can. Jet Central and UCF shut down the stream tonight. Accidental shutdown.
They just shut down. Was this accidental shutdown?
The Jets Central Live. You know what happened? I think Josh Rosen's losing and he's having trouble controlling himself.
Josh Rosen's going to be admitted to a mental institution after this game because he gave himself a concussion by banging his own head multiple times. If anybody saw that, we saw that replay over and over again.
Stay in school and work and stop bitching about classes. Josh.
That's right. You're in college now.
You're in college.
There are people who would love to be in college. You're getting a full ride, Josh.
Yeah. Josh is like, college athletes have it so hard. He's
an airhead. You're right. He's from California.
Josh Allen has it so. Josh Rosen has it so hard. He's one of those California guys who thinks the world revolves around him. One of those California types of guys. You two are fantastic. I agree. I don't think I'm very good by myself. Are you going to do Garoppolo vids? 1,000% yes.
Absolutely.
I have nothing against Jimmy.
Is he starting?
You know what's so funny, Niner fans, is that now I'm really going to have to watch those games live.
Who's starting the game?
He is a great prospect.
Who's starting? Garoppolo?
No, Befford.
Bethard.
Now
our
here's
man.
CJ Befford, baby.
Bethard's in the house. He's got good bloodlines.
Hey, Wakub, I got some good news for you, man. Rombo Sports, who's the Twitch empire. Rombo Sports, the ultimate 49er hangout, one of our inspirations. Rombo Sports was a guy, I showed you him. He has all the Niner fans on, like, Google Hangout that just call in from very crazy places.
I like his graphics.
Ronbo, Wacoop, we're trying to get a collab with him, me and Jet Central, man. It's going to be a blast. Ronbo is a complete stud. He is Niner Nation. I'm just a fraction of Niner Nation, but Ronbo is the man.
He's the man.
It's so funny,
he's got a plan.
We have no connection to San Fran, but the Niners fans are absolutely
we have connections to Stanford.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, let's do a little bit of NFL picks right now, by the way. It's an 11-point game. 11-point game. UCLA is down. You kick a field goal here with 3 minutes to go and make it an 8-point game because now you're wasting so much time that you're going to have to resort to an onside kick. Get the kicker out, make the field goal, and play defense.
Well, they're not doing it. Instead, they're going to go for a first down.
This is so dumb because by the time they even score their touchdown or whatever, you know what I mean? It's the game's going to be over.
This could be an injury. So what happens is when UCLA gets injured, you know what they're going to do? They're going to force him to go to time.
Protocol.
Timeout.
8 viewers. 8 viewers now. If you guys subscribe, man, I want to do these live streams all the time. Have you guys comment because this can be our future. So you guys have been absolutely spectacular. All right, Lions-Bears. Speaking of the Chicago Bears, Dowell Loggins. I don't like Dowell Loggins at all. He's so conservative. He's kind of moronic in his interviews. He's old, pudgy, and fat, and he just annoys the crap out of me. And he's going to call so many stupid toss plays to Jordan Howard, and the Bears are going to get stuffed by the Lions. I think the Lions have a ton of momentum. I think the Lions win.
I would agree with that. The Bears have a lot of negative momentum. Foxy is definitely on the hot seat. And
that beard is awful.
Mitchell Trubisky, what do you think? It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold in Chicago.
He has no weapons.
I think cold and rainy.
Yeah.
I think for the rookie, he's going to be a little bit overmatched.
I think Stafford.
I predict Lions to cover that game.
Lions will probably win. Rams-Vikings, what a game.
That's going to be a really good game. From the Eagles' standpoint here in Philly, we liked, because obviously both of these teams are in the wild card race. Vikings certainly overachievers. Rams are on the upswing. Where's the game being played?
The game's being played in Minneapolis.
Okay, so it'll be indoors, right?
Indoors,
not in the cold weather.
In the mall.
I have a feeling the Rams are so much better. I'm calling it Rams by 10 in that game.
Rams.
I'm not a believer in the Vikings. I think they are pretenders.
Do you think they go back to Teddy once Case loses a game?
Well, Teddy has been, he had a terrible knee injury. I know he's practicing. I'm not sure this is the time to go against the Rams defense.
UCF Jaguar has finally come over to the screen,
Welcome to the dark side.
Welcome. I mean, those guys, they set the bar. They carried the night. We're just the icing on their cupcake.
Just hangers on. We're just there.
We're the icing on their cupcake.
We're the stalagmites on the top of the igloo. How do you like that?
Who's a woman that's gotten remarried like 5 times, a celebrity female?
Elizabeth Taylor?
Yeah. Who she'd marry last?
She's not alive anymore.
Okay.
So that's a little more.
You know what we did? Like UCF's like the guy that like dates a girl for 3 years, and then I'm the senior that like the girl comes open, and we date that girl last year.
You're like Steven.
Those guys did a 3-hour live
stream. Steven Stifler.
I wish I was Steven Stifler, but I'll never be him, unfortunately. UCF Jaguar had an amazing live stream with Jet Central. He did a video blog too, Bruce, where he literally blogged like going into the pool in Jacksonville with all these hot girls all around, man.
That's pretty good.
Insanely jealous. Good. Insanely jealous.
We can't do that here. You know why?
It's cold. Girls have no teeth.
No. We're not in Maryland.
Right.
Sorry. I'm trying to not insult people who are on the stream. We didn't have any Maryland people.
Cardinals and Texans. What a game. Blaine Gabbert versus Tom Savage.
You know what it is called?
Yes.
It's called the backup bowl. It means backup because the Greeks are coming in the back door. That game should be a yawner.
Look at this, cover 0. UCLA bringing the house. Get it out of your hand, Josh.
There it is.
That's a touchdown.
It is wide open. Touchdown.
Yes. Trojans, baby. Touchdown, Trojans.
Bruins.
By the way, I really like Blaine Gabbert, okay? I'm a huge fan of Blaine. The corkscrew throw.
It's incredible.
I want to see Blaine Gabbert, what?
No, I'm saying
Ball.
if you look at Rose's stats, he's thrown over 400 yards in this game.
That was a bullseye.
That was a
of
complete
throw.
dime.
That was a dime piece. I think Josh Rosen, if you're looking at the prospects, he throws the best
Reminds me a little
football.
bit of Jay Cutler. You know why? He's brooding personality. Jay Cutler.
No
I'm not
way.
saying in
He's
terms
so
of
much more
performance.
talented than Jay.
I'm talking about his personality. He's kind of a brooding.
Nah,
look at
he's
Rosen.
more charismatic.
Does he smile?
Yeah, he's not like Jay.
So if he smiles, he's not like Jay
Jay's
Cutler.
apathetic.
Do you ever see Jay smile?
Josh Rosen
Jay never smiles.
Josh Rosen is very outgoing,
He's animated.
bombastic.
I like that, but I'm saying
Jay
the way
Cutler's apathetic and boring as Jay Cutler's apathetic. Josh Rosen's just kind of a punk, a smart ass. Kind of like, I'm trying to think who Josh Rosen is.
2-point conversion.
Like.
There it is. Split out wide. Rosen's back. Good protection.
No.
And he throws it out of the end zone.
15 yards out
There's
of the
one
damn
rule.
end zone.
There's one rule. You'll never score if you throw the ball out of the end zone. And also the second rule is
What's the second
there's no
rule?
point in throwing it away on a 2-point conversion. At least
Well, they can run that sucker.
I guess they could run that sucker back. What's the maximum they could get? 2 points?
2 points.
So we've got 9 viewers. We want to thank everybody. We're Rover Sports. We're based in Philly. We want to thank Jet Central.
Jet Central
What is
and
it?
UCF Jags.
UCF
Jags. Jaguar.
They've joined the party.
Jaguar.
Spencer is now.
But
you just finished the post game on the Warriors Sixers at the Wells Fargo Center, which is the epic 40-point reversal, otherwise known as Mongoloid reversal.
You know the Sports Fury, they're the guys, they're the ultimate streamers. They'll stream for 10 hours. Jet Central and UCF only lasted 3 quarters. But that's
3 hours is pretty good.
That's
a
3
marathon.
quarters. That's pretty damn special.
3 quarters of what game?
That's pretty damn special. So everybody's here now. We've taken over the late cap from them. Eventually, we should have our own Sirius satellite radio station. Have those guys start off in the morning.
You know what we should do? If Barstool can have a 24/7, then we should have a collaboration with everybody as obviously part of Rover Sports.
They said they're like the guys in American Pie. Remember the guy in American Pie? He couldn't finish, and then he went back and he was on camera and he couldn't finish twice. You remember that one in American Pie 1? They also said that they're like Tony Romo because they only played they only could finish 3 quarters. So that's what they said there too. That was really
Who's
funny.
our favorite character in American Pie? Mr. Lowenstein.
Mr. Jim Lowenstein, yes.
Jim Lowenstein, who has those caterpillars.
Oh,
the girls
those
loved
eyes,
him. The girls loved him in high school.
Those
He had those
eyebrows.
caterpillar eyebrows.
Oh, you want us to do a whole mock draft? I don't think
I think that's a little.
Ain't nobody got time for that. but
Nobody got
possibly-
time for that.
Yeah. Tony Romo, though, I think he's doing a fantastic job in the booth. I think that he is absolutely fantastic. Sports Fury, we need to get you guys on the show. Josh and Sean are absolutely awesome. You know, those guys.
Absolutely.
Those guys are just
Happy to join you.
Crazy, comedic. Did they do the Sonside Kick?
Let's see. Let's do a little
Oh my
replay.
God, that's a drop.
And it's an over-the-shoulder
That's
boulder holder.
That's a hell of a
And
catch.
UCLA will
Okay.
go down.
Do I think that the Niners will draft Barkley? I think actually this is kind of a hot take. Everybody loves Saquon. I like Darius Geis or Kerryon Johnson more than they want to do a CFL mock draft. Vince Young, Johnny Manziel. That would be fun as hell. But I think that Darius Geis would be my top running back. So if I were the Niners, also Minkah Fitzpatrick as a cornerback, I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is a very good corner because the Niners cornerbacks, Witherspoon, Jaquiski Tart, sounds like Pop-Tart.
You know, I want Minka Kelly.
That's a good one.
So guys, I want you to Google
Garrity.
I want you to Google Minka Kelly.
Minka Kelly's the hottest girl in the history of
She
planet
actually took. You heard how we sold uranium to the Russians?
Earth. Yes.
The Russians sold us silicone for Minka Kelly.
I don't even know what silicone is, honestly. I'm too young.
That's okay.
What does that mean? I think Minka Kelly
something
is just
for some
gorgeous.
enhancement of breast autos.
So what I think that
It's a non sequitur, guys. It's a non sequitur. Keep everybody awake.
So this is thank you Val Roadshow. He's hitting the road. Really appreciate.
Thanks for joining.
You
Thanks
guys
for
make
tuning in.
the live stream great. So right here, USC, they almost can ice the game.
Ice, baby.
So, Bruce...
Looks like you're going to ice it.
Bruce, I think that the mock draft goes as follows, okay? I think that the mock draft goes as follows. I think that...
Giants, number 1 pick?
The Giants, I would have them trade back or get Darius Geis out of LSU. I'm a huge fan of Darius Geis.
He's a beast.
A.J. Brown out of Ole Miss is a really good wide receiver. I think he's very, very good.
He's not a number 1 pick.
I think he's going to be in the second round, though.
Okay.
So I look at the mock draft. I think that you have Josh Allen. I think you have Rosen. I think Darnold. I think Drew Lock and Baker Mayfield can sneak in there. I think those are your top 5. Mason Rudolph is a complete pretender.
Is Mayfield a first-round pick?
Borderline. I see him being drafted in about the 25 to 45 range. Whoever gets Baker Mayfield's getting a stud. Best footwork in the draft.
Seems like Saquon Barkley.
Best footwork in the draft.
His stock has been falling a bit as Penn State has.
I think his stock's going to keep rising.
Mediocrity.
But who does he play? He doesn't play anybody in the Big Ten. He's slower than Darius Geis and Kerryon Johnson. You saw Kerryon Johnson.
And Saquon, while he's durable, he doesn't have a good size.
Right. Antonio Callaway might be an interesting pick out of Florida. He's the best route runner in college, but it's not a deep wide receiver draft this year, interestingly enough. So
I can believe that.
I can't wait. What do you think about the draft being in Dallas? What do you think about that?
I think it's interesting because Goodell and Jones are having an incredible
dispute.
They're having what I would call a cockfight. They're actually having a cock measuring fight. And so the fact that Goodell,
I think Goodell has a small millimeter cock.
I think he's more of a light switch cock.
Dick. Yeah.
Light switch dick.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, Commissioner. Oh, Anthony Miller, Thomas Russo, my boy from Memphis, baby.
Memphis, baby.
Chris Verne.
From Beale Street. We're at Beale Street. It's Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Memphis, great town.
Anthony Miller is tremendous.
Great music in Memphis.
That's a hell of a call right there. I'm not a fan of Riley Ferguson, but Anthony Miller, I think he's got the most touchdowns in Memphis history. So Mike Norvell's going to probably go to Arkansas now, but Anthony Miller's a complete and total beast. Let's finish up our picks video, Bruce, and then we're going to go to the end of the football game. Guys, thank you so much for chiming in.
And now the 2-minute warning. Never mind. There's no 2-minute warning in college.
I got the Rams.
Sorry. We jumped the gun.
Chip Kelly is going to be announced tomorrow.
For who?
Wow.
For Florida?
Sean's beard. Jerry Jones has a longer popsicle than Goodell.
We don't want to say anything.
How did we get there, huh? Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I think that the Rams-Vikings game, I kind of want to go with
that game.
I want to go with the Vikings, okay? I think Jared Goff gets
taking
stopped.
It home.
Great defensive performance.
So you call it we call it a trap game for the Rams.
Give me the score of the Chiefs-Giants. Final score.
Oh, in New York?
In New York.
Oh, it's going to be a dull game. It's going to be a lot of defense. Chiefs are not a great road team. Inclement weather tomorrow here. Wet, damp, boring game, guys. I would avoid it unless you're a big Giants fan. So my prediction for that game, 17. It's going to be a boring finish, too. I would say Chiefs 17, Giants 10 in a real yawn.
34-10.
Okay.
I think the Chargers
sleepwalk through that
Chargers are going to beat the Bills. Nate Peterman's going to put up 17 points tomorrow, and the Chargers put up 26. I don't think Peterman's going to light the world on fire at all tomorrow. I think he's going to get off to a slow start. I see Peterman going, you know what Peterman's stats I see? I see Peterson's stats being this: 14 of 27, 182 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks tomorrow for Nathan Peterman. I don't think Peterman's legit.
I see this.
Especially his first start.
Chargers are at home. Granted, they don't have much of a home field advantage because they play in a 10,000-seat stadium.
You know what's
Peterman going away, going across the country. I predict Chargers in a squeaker. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Bengals and Broncos. I actually have the Broncos winning this game over the Bengals.
Because the Bengals are terrible. So by default,
Yeah,
I'll say
they
the
are.
Broncos, both teams headed south, headed towards the toilet, headed towards the drain. But I believe the Broncos won't get to the toilet as fast as the
And Jim Mora's
Bengals.
officially fired as the ability of USC to stop the run. Very anticlimactic finish, sort of like our friends at Jet Central's channel. I had to give a little burn.
And here comes a little Gatorade shower
For Clay.
coming for the coach.
You can't even
And
name
here
this-
it
you
comes.
can't even name the coach of USC. That's how bland and dull that hire is. Right?
right.
Is that
Yep.
correct? Clay Hilton. There is the cool one. Actually, if you're
He
talking
looks
about
like Tim
Jim-
Robbins. He looks like a very young Timothy Robbins in your favorite movie,
Dufresne,
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank, absolutely.
And there's the Gatorade bath.
You know what's so funny? There was just a reference from the great Sean's Beard. He was talking about Josh Rosen's hot tub. And
is a good
that was
reference.
a pretty cool. That was a pretty cool reference there. I support that move of to have the hot tub in the door.
So is Jim Mora heading to the NFL? Possibly.
Sam Darnold is more like Jay Cutler. Josh Rosen's personality is kind of like Tom Savage's
Yeah,
personality.
I think that but so much different quarterbacks, though. Darnold, look, he smiles.
No, Darnold's a friendlier guy, but he's kind of a quiet assassin. So I think Darnold's like Trubisky a little bit in that sense. Josh Rosen's a real,
He's got a lot of energy.
arrogant, thinks
well,
he's the best, cocky,
I'm trying to think of a
snobby.
quarterback like him.
Old Tom Brady?
No,
No.
let's try to think of somebody who's real fiery.
Jameis Winston? I actually think they're kind of opposite, though.
Yeah, it's hard to really.
Carson Palmer, Blaine Gabbert.
No, but you look at Josh. He's got so much energy.
Kinda
and a
like
harness
Rosen.
that he's plain angry.
I think that Josh Rosen's going to get on his coaching staff. That's been my fear. But as we go towards tomorrow, we're going to have to, I think, wrap this night up because tomorrow we just have some huge videos. We're going to also record
Big
some
game.
things
There's
tomorrow.
a big Bills game. We'll be covering the Bills game from Bills Central, otherwise known as Kaminsky Sports Bar.
A lot of
and
Centrals.
we will be doing a watch party tomorrow night for Sunday Night Football, Eagles Cowboys. We will be in, of course, the Rover Sports Den with the projection TV.
Make sure.
And we should have Dr. Lewis will be in the house, Gary Kaminsky, Andy Margulies will be in the house, the quiet one, call him the quiet one. He'll be there. So we should have a pretty nice turnout tomorrow night.
Make sure you guys subscribe. Eagles 500 will definitely be watching. I think that that's the game of the weekend. I think the Eagles get it done tomorrow night. I'm going to say 34-24 Eagles. I think you should have good memories. Remember that game where who got the interception off of Kyle Orton to win the NFC East that year? Do you remember that with Chip Kelly and Nick Foles? Who got that interception to win the NFC East on Kyle Orton? Who was that?
What was the safety, or was it? It wasn't Brian Dawkins.
I think it was a safety. It was like in 2011. Let's see if any of you guys can remember that part of the trivia.
No, I can't.
It was a corner. Yeah, I forget that. But that was a pretty... The Eagles usually beat Dallas. They should have beaten Dallas last year if Doug Peterson didn't call that stupid screen pass.
That
late in the
screen, it
game.
was a lateral, right? And the fumble recovery.
Oh, Nolan Carroll.
Okay, that's a good one.
He
Nolan
Philly
Carroll,
500
who
pulled
was
that one
banished.
out.
That's a great one. And Nolan Carroll was banished from the kingdom.
No, it's Boykin, Brandon Boykin.
Brandon
He
Boykin.
was traded to Pitt, so it's Boykin.
Was it? I'm not sure. I'll be guessing.
Go Bears from Thomas Russo. I'll definitely have we got to do a Mitchell film review tomorrow. And Sam Darnold, look at this. His last game, possibly his last rivalry game, he's going to lead the band in the Trojan anthem.
Fight song?
That is so cool.
That's pretty cool.
What a great tradition.
Just be careful with that knife.
Look at the glory one, Sam Darnold. That's pretty damn cool.
That's pretty nice.
He owns it. He owns the day.
And USC's been down for a while. This has been a good year for them.
I will absolutely, Josh. I'll do a Trubisky video in honor of you. I will do a Mitchell Trubisky. There is no fan base that it's so funny. The Bears fans have done a 180. If I say one thing bad about Trubisky, they're on me like crazy. It's pretty amazing.
So I'm gonna buzz out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Rover Sports. You guys are great collaborators. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy NFL. Get some sleep. Big day tomorrow in the NFL.
No doubt. Rewatch. Enjoy it. big day tomorrow, NFL. Great job, Jet Central and UCF. Great day for you guys. Philly 500, thanks so much, man. And great stuff from all of you guys tonight. We'll see you.